Hey everyone, it's Raph. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a fat stack of books that I'm ready to haul for you, so let us get straight into my second book haul of 2020. The first book that I picked up was Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I love a good murder mystery story. I also love a good boarding school setting. So when a book combines those two, I'm going to spend my money on it, and that's exactly what I did. My friend recommended me this, and I can't wait to read it. The second book I picked up was one of the Booker Prize Award winners of 2019, and that book is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. This is an adult literary fiction novel following 12 characters and looking at the female experience in Britain. The next book that I picked up is a YA contemporary romance, and that is Loveboat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. I have not read a contemporary romance book in a very long time. I fell down a deep dark pit of reading only YA fantasy. However, I heard about Loveboat Taipei in a booktube video actually, and it sounded really interesting. It follows the story of our main character who moves to Taipei for an academic gap year program. However, when she gets there, she realizes it isn't as intellectually intense as she had anticipated it to be, and it's got more of a Gossip Girl-esque lifestyle to it. And so there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of romance, and it sounds really intriguing. I can't wait. The next book that I picked up is a recommendation from a friend, and that is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. This is following the story of a demon and an angel who have to work together to combat the apocalypse. I'm so excited for this. The TV show looks amazing too. David Tennant is in it, who is Doctor Who. That has me intrigued as well, so I might have to read this and then watch the show after. Next, I picked up a book that Regan from Peruse Project recommended, and that is Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. This is following the story of one of Oxford's first female scholars, and she is trying to recruit a very cold, very calculating duke into the suffragette movement. I love a good historical romance, and I've heard very good things about this one. The next book I picked up is another one that I heard about on Regan's channel, and that is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This is a fantasy book following the story of a witch set in Imperial Russia. I do believe this is inspired by ancient Russian folklore, so yes, very intriguing, and I'm excited to start reading it. The next book I picked up is a new release, and it is one that I have spoken about on my channel before. It is The Library of Legends by Janie Chang. This is a merging of fantasy and historical fiction, just like a few of the other books that I've already picked up. There's a running theme here. Clearly you can see what my favourite genre is. Anyway, back to this. This is following the story of a young Chinese student in Imperial China who is tasked with having to deliver an ancient folklore to the Library of Legends. On her way, she realizes that her journey is mirroring the story itself. Next, I got a classic murder mystery, and that is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. I don't know too much about this, but I've been told I should go into Agatha Christie novels not knowing anything. I haven't read any Christie before, however, a few friends of mine have yelled at me for that, and so I thought it's about time I pick one up and try it out. Next up is a non-fiction purchase, and that is Venus and Aphrodite by Bethany Hughes. First of all, the cover is stunning, you know, some shiny gold, can't say no to that. Second of all, this is by a historian who I really like. She has written a lot about ancient Persia and Greece and Rome, and this book specifically is about the goddess of love, Aphrodite, in both ancient Grecian and Roman myth. The next book I picked up is a widely beloved one, and that is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This is a World War II novel, I believe, set in Paris. It follows the story of a young blind girl who is taking refuge with her father when she meets a soldier for the Hitler Youth Army, I think. And so, yes, I don't know too much else about this, however, I've heard amazing things. Also, this is a stunning edition that is hardcover and gigantic, and it was only 25 bucks, so I couldn't really say no. My next stack of books are books that I received from a book exchange that I partook in. Basically, it was like an Instagram kind of book chain where I would buy one person a book, and whoever replied to my Instagram story would buy me a book, and whoever replied to their Instagram story would also buy me a book. It was like a whole social media chain of book buying, which is very exciting, and I got quite a few books out of it actually, so thank you to everyone who sent me a book. The first one that I received was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This is a classic that everyone loves, and it follows the story of a shepherd boy travelling to the Egyptian temples in search of treasure. The next book is one that has been spoken about a lot actually, and that is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. This is Jeanette's memoir about her domestic life with an alcoholic, abusive father and a very distant mother who didn't want the responsibility of raising a family. The next book I received is one that I was so excited to open up in the mail, and that is Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker. I don't know too much about this series, however, I have been saying for such a long time that I want to get into real adult fantasy books, and I wanted to start with Brandon Sanderson because this is the guy that everyone recommends, and so When I saw this in the mail, I was like, it's a sign. It's finally time for me to graduate from YA fantasy and attempt some adult fantasy. The next book that I got is another classic fantasy, and that is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. This is a beloved of many, and it follows vampires at a boarding school, I think, or just a high school, I don't know. But it's a vampire story, and I haven't read many of those, but I'm very excited to try it, so yes. Vampire Academy. And last up we have a classic, and that is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. So this story is set in Brooklyn, and it follows the story of a young girl and her family as she grows up. And so I've heard that this is a really beautiful story about love and about family and growth, and so definitely a classic that I don't want to miss. I've been saying that I want to read more classics this year, and I think this book will be a very good start. And so that brings us to the end of my second book haul of this year. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you've read any of these books, and if you have, what your thoughts on them are. I'm very curious. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!